Have you ever been told not to worry about someone? You know, that one person. The best friend. The co-worker. The girl he says is basically family. Because that's exactly what happened to me. And somehow, after 2 years together, my boyfriend left me and started dating his female best friend of 10 years. And according to them, it all happened completely naturally. Sure, let me tell you what happened. I was 25 years old and I had been dating my boyfriend for 2 years. Everything seemed normal, at least normal enough. The only issue was his female best friend. Now, before anyone starts typing men and women can be friends, relax. I agree, I have male friends. Most people have friends of the opposite sex. That wasn't the problem. The problem was her behavior. She constantly flirted with him. She made passive-aggressive comments toward me. She always seemed determined to remind everyone that she knew him first. You know the type. The woman who doesn't outright say she dislikes you. Instead, she smiles while making sure you understand exactly where you stand. I brought it up once, just once, and my boyfriend immediately brushed it off. That's just how she is. Apparently, she acted that way with everyone. So I let it go. Not because I believed him, but because I didn't want to become the insecure girlfriend. I didn't want to be the woman who constantly complained about another woman. So for nearly a year, I ignored every red flag. And honestly, that was probably my first mistake. Then came his birthday. Or rather, the birthday party I wasn't invited to. His best friend organized a surprise birthday party for him a week before his actual birthday. And somehow, everyone knew about it except me, his girlfriend, the person he'd been dating for 2 years. Not only was I not invited ... his own sister wasn't invited either. And apparently his best friend didn't like his sister. Interesting. The night at the party, my boyfriend called me drunk, upset, confused. He wanted to know why I hadn't shown up. Because according to his best friend, I had refused to attend. She told him I didn't like his friends, that I didn't support him, that I simply chose not to come. Meanwhile, I was sitting at home wondering why nobody had told me there was a party. And in the background, I could hear her laughing, literally laughing, and shouting that he shouldn't waste his attention on me because I was a terrible girlfriend. At that point, I already knew exactly what was happening. The only person who didn't know was him. So I tried one last time to be mature. I even suggested grabbing coffee with her. Maybe we could clear the air. Maybe we could start over. Maybe I'd been wrong all along. She never responded. Not once, and honestly, now I know why. 2 weeks later, he sat me down and ended our relationship. Just like that. 2 years gone. I stayed calm, but I asked the question everyone would ask. Did your best friend have anything to do with this? And that's when everything finally came out. He admitted he had developed feelings for her. But according to him, nothing physical happened. According to him, he had only realized his feelings recently for the woman he'd known for 10 years. 10 years. And somehow the romantic feelings appeared only a few weeks earlier, exactly around the time of that birthday party. What incredible timing. Now here's the part that really got me. 1 week after our breakup, they were officially dating. 1 week, not 1 month. Not 6 months, 1 week. And suddenly they were completely in love, soulmates, meant to be. The love story of the century. And his best friend. She made sure everyone knew she had one. She publicly mocked me, called me toxic, called me a loser, acted like she'd conquered some great enemy, which honestly tells me everything I need to know. Because happy people don't behave like that. People who truly win don't spend their time celebrating someone else's pain. What's interesting is that his own friends didn't even support what happened. A few weeks later, I ran into some mutual friends, and they told me they were disappointed we'd broken up. They liked me. They enjoyed spending time with me. They thought I was good for him. And that told me something important. The narrative his best friend had created about me wasn't actually true. Most people saw right through it. Now, here's my personal theory. I don't think people suddenly fall in love after 10 years of friendship. At least not in 1 week. I think emotional boundaries get crossed long before physical ones do. I think intimacy builds slowly, through conversations, through emotional dependence, through shared moments, through gradually becoming someone's first choice. And sometimes by the time the relationship becomes official, the emotional affair has already been happening for months, maybe even years. Not necessarily intentionally, but still happening. Because romantic feelings don't usually appear overnight. They grow quietly until eventually someone finally admits what's already there. And honestly, I don't hate either of them. I'm hurt, absolutely, but I don't hate them. What hurts most isn't losing him. It's realizing that while I was trying to trust him, someone else was slowly positioning herself to take my place. And the worst part? Everyone told me not to worry. Yet somehow the person I wasn't supposed to worry about became his girlfriend. Funny how often that happens. So if you're watching this and you've experienced something similar, let me know in the comments. Do you think feelings can suddenly develop after 10 years of friendship? Or do you think emotional lines were crossed long before the relationship became official? Because honestly, I think some breakups start long before the day someone says, it's over. And sometimes the signs are there all along. We're just taught to ignore them until it's too late.